Finance Committee met on December 7th, last Wednesday. In regards to investments, the process of initially setting everything up with Style Hire is quite cumbersome, so that's still in the works. And Mr. Brett reported that he's had some ongoing talks with PNC, and during those talks with PNC, he also found out that going to look into issuing individual credit cards to necessary employees, specific vehicles, etc. And in doing it that way, the village could be more restrictive with the use and have better oversight. Sale of northbound property, nothing on that. No information on police contract. As far as we had discussed the blighted property fund, that is still on hold. Mr. Brett's still waiting to hear back from the auditor's office before moving forward with anything on that. We did talk about the 5-year budget. At this point, we've only gone out 2 years with that because of the financial situation with that 6 mil levy failure. We did talk about the levy failure. Did have some discussion, some input from members of the residents that were there, and general consensus was about lack of communication, and we're going to try to improve that. Mr. Brett was going to get the amount of a 1 mil levy, what a 1 mil levy will generate from the auditor's office, so that we can look at the budget and discuss and decide what is going to be needed when we go to the residents. I think we need to get something on the primary ballot in May, which we will have to vote on at the January meeting to send it in to county and get it certified. We did talk about the employee raises. Initially, Mr. Brett had provided some information to finance. In regards to that, initial concerns that I had was regarding the budget and the levy failure, and that we didn't have any specific plans at the time to generate the lost revenue. And Mr. Burns was there, and he expressed his concerns as far as the salaries being below average. Our employees haven't had raises in years, and the impact of the wages and the impact the increase would have on our general budget. We had some discussion about that. And we also discussed the Rumpke contract, which we've already passed. I brought up about signage at the roundabout. We can use TIF funds to purchase something to put there. I think it would be nice if we could put some, we can't put anything really big because you have to be able to see around it and over it, but.
We're looking into what we can and can't
Okay.
put in that circle.
That's good news.
I think that would be an improvement, something welcome to Cleves. And Kevin also suggested putting up some no crossing signs near the roundabout. And then we also brought up again the issue of a sidewalk. Would it be possible for you to talk to the Holland group about if they have plans for the sidewalk from Finley to Skyline, and if there's any way they could bump up those plans to get it in sooner rather than later? So
Yeah,
that we don't have, especially with another restaurant coming in there, we don't want to reach a bunch of people from the school property trying to cross the street at the roundabout, just gonna make it worse.
I was just informed about some safe school funds and grants, so we're going to apply for that, for the
Okay.
crossing. The sidewalk, Holland agreed to put in the sidewalk, but they want to wait until they have that other entrance, rather than having a sidewalk that goes to the roundabout. That could be dangerous, so they're talking about a sidewalk on from Finley to.
Actually, on the Holland property
both
there.
sides. They didn't want to have a sidewalk and then people cutting across the grass to get to Roy Rogers. So when there's gonna be a second entrance down closer to Miami
off of
Township.
Finley.
Yeah, they're closer to Finley. At that point, they will ask for the sidewalks. That's tippable also, but I think it'd be more the responsibility of the property owner.
That was all we had. I would just like to add one other thing in regards to the employee pay rates and employee raises. 5% will bring a lot of that up, but I think we still need to look at the maintenance department as far as our pay rates. It is still well beyond, even with the raise, it's still below the average. So maybe once we, when we're looking at our 5-year budget, finance can look at that and see about possibly what we can do to bring the maintenance salaries up a little bit more, to be more competitive. That's all that I have.
Any questions for Ms. Meister? Council, anybody else have anything?
Not on finance, but I'll just want to thank everybody for the Christmas walk myself and mention that a more complete list would include individual businesses, all of our different institutions around town. I'll write down, I'll announce the list that I came up with. Dennis George Funeral Home, our new business, Rustic Happiness, Total Body by Bender, Hamilton County Library, Township Senior Center, the Masons Lodge, the American Legion, Harrison Sims Foundation and Museum, Ann's Tavern, Marilee's, David Conrad, Mike and his bud, the Miami Township Fire Department, and Judy Boyce and the Beautification Committee. All made substantial contributions to the effort, and they are appreciated. I will say that we had about double the entries into our free raffles. So it was much better than last year when we were up against the UC football game. That there was a general good sentiment around town at the time. And most of our entrants were from Cleves. I think it's still 80–90%. There's a strong bias towards downtown and for some reason State Road. But there was other Miami Township villages elsewhere in Miami Township and as far away as the outskirts of Harrison, Ohio. So a good participation and a good time, and I think, at least for the moment, the right scale for Cleves. So thank you, and I was happy with how it went.
Anybody else? Nothing? With that, we have no further business. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Ms. Karen, did you have anything that you wanted to report for the?
I don't have anything major. I just wanted to commend Kevin, Carrie Bernard from the library across the street, Miami Township. Commend Kevin for doing such an excellent job. I can certainly echo his sentiments. We had at least 300 people through our door, and that doesn't even count the cross through with the senior center. They had excellent things to say, and I can tell you that many new faces, people that are not regularly coming through Cleves, and it is a tremendous opportunity for the village to really highlight all the wonderful things that we have going. So it was great job. We're also working on next year's plans for the library and things that you would like to see. We had a really successful year, and I just really invite advice. If you have suggestions or anything for events or activities, please send them my way. And come to the magic show on Thursday the 29th. I can't guarantee a bunny, but there will be balloons. That's all I have. Thank you.
What time is
that
it?
you can send to me so we can put it on?
Yeah, absolutely.
And was Miss Bram Heger, if I say her name right, is she still
She's coming next month, yes.
Okay, thank
That
you.
is confirmed. Thank you.